First look at Snezhnaya. I mean, technically second look, honestly, because the Archon. I want to say Archon quest, but no, it's a world quest. I'm stupid. It should have been, but still, yeah. Second look at Snezhnaya. Okay.
去年这个时候，我们担心大家对于诺德卡莱还不算太了解。
We know, okay, it's last year was more about a completely thrown in region, one that literally was not planned. People want to say, "Oh, it was planned," but if you told uh the developers when they were making I don't know 1.3 or something that they would make Nod cry, they probably would have told you you're stupid. Man, you got some wild fanfic theories already or whatever. We know probably a lot about Snezhnaya though. Seriously. Child gave us a good amount about how the ports freeze over in winter. You can't even use them. That already tells us that we're probably gonna get like a frozen lake or something in the region.
所以当
And then, there's something with the abyss, or somehow Child fell into something and that led to him meeting Skirk. Yeah, we still have all that potentially to discover.
时做了一期节目，从创作者的视角，跟大家分享了一些诺德卡莱的简单创作思路。不过比起诺德卡莱，我觉得大家对于至东的了解就要多很多了。比如说，至东是冰的国度，语言中的大本营。
Yeah, I mean, those are basic.
冒险家协会总部的所在地。
I'm sorry, what? Oh, I mean, Sandrone was the one who runs it, so who took over that? Or actually, no, she's gonna get revived. Or not revived per se, but it's not that she died. It's just that her core or whatever isn't able to connect to her body, so she just needs a new body. I think that's like it. The internal processing unit or whatever is unable to like access the body's functions. That's kind of how I think of her death. Like mentally she's probably still alive and awake, just unable to input that into like a brain to think. She's just waiting for a new body, or like for her to get like patched up enough to be able to work on stuff. That's how I see it.
尤其是在空月之歌版本的这一年中，相信旅行者已经充分感受到，提瓦特世界的局势目前可以说是暗流。
Well, of course, there are always. That's just how the world is.
有涌动。那相信大家对于未来下一个目的地，至东的旅行。
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the climax of the story. It is the big event. This has been our number one or number two enemy for a while. Like, from Liyue to Inazuma to Sumeru, those three nations were primarily the villains are the Fatui. The Fatui are the villains. Every fucking event story had something to do with the Fatui wanting to blah 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 blah, or it was little hints and sneak peeks about something and other stuff. You get the point. Fontaine changed that. That one also somewhat changed it. Obviously, they're still bad Fatui leaders, harbingers. That's what it is. but there are good ones as we've seen, but now we just only have a few, and they're way lower ranked than the rest. So let's already just cancel out like Capitano. He's mostly on our side. He doesn't and he's unable to move. Dottore dead, or quote unquote dead. He's still potentially coming back. There's I don't believe that he's dead. His death was pathetic. Columbina on our side, and now even stronger with all of the three moons behind her. The trilunar synergy or something? I don't remember. Arlecchino, who has no problem with us at all. In fact, she actively refers to us as a friend. Same with like the people, the House of the Hearth, pretty much is are all friends of us. Uh, who's 5? I want to say Regrader, but that doesn't sound right. Could be the Rooster, but I'm pretty sure that guy's evil as hell. 6 doesn't exist anymore because blah blah blah. Changes to Irminsul. Then 7 was Sandrone, but I guess she'll come back stronger. We'll see about that one. 8, La Signora. I always forget that she exists. But she's dead, and I don't see her reviving or being worth the trouble to be revived. 9, one of those again that don't matter. Honestly, 9 through I'm not saying that fully, but like 8 through 9 and 8 through 11 is just not they're all weak enough that we could just soul them easily. Child is just out of our league. Sorry.
充满期待的。所以同事们找
And then the Saritsa and the Jester, but I don't think he might care about us for being a descender, but that's about it. I don't see him. He hasn't in specific mentioned go capture the Traveler to the Harbingers. He could have at any time, but he hasn't.
我来录这个节目的时候，我起初是有点困惑的，感觉大家早就认识过志东了。
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When my colleagues asked me to record this
节目
program,
的时候，我起初
I was a bit confused at first. I agree. I don't really see a reason other than just hyping up Snezhnaya. That's fine. I'm fine with hyping up Snezhnaya.
是有点困惑的，感觉大家早就认识过志东了。
It isn't.
就是说，比起前瞻特别节目，现在这里算是一个前瞻的节目。那关于
A special program for the special program? That makes no fucking sense.
志东这个期盼已久的新国家，我们还有哪些可以和大家聊一聊的话题？
志东这个国家，明面上是对我们过去承诺的这个
Combat designer. EQ? Are you gonna do another EQ? Burst skill or skill burst? Like, I get people say, oh, but Natlin was trying to be different. No, it wasn't. Don't even try kidding yourself about that shit.
提瓦特七国旅行的一个线性的延伸。但实际上呢，
Players don't accept. They're
玩家的需
constantly
求它并不
evolving.
是线性的，而是一直在升级，
Expectations.
一直在渴望有新的、更有创意的设计。所以我们要做的其实是既要保持《原神》这个作品的一个亲切感
Okay.
和代入感，让旅行成为生活的一部分。又要不断的去尝试这种新鲜的、令人惊喜的体验方式， 让这种旅行可以沉淀情绪持续的去具备意义。
Sure.
这个事情说起来很轻松啊，但
Yeah, you're acting like you're a story writer, but you're a combat designer. What?
实际做的过程当中还是有不少需要推敲的地方的。所以今天我们就可以聊一聊这里面的门道。
What? This is what's not. You already have this much? This already okay, seriously, like, they have full functioning fucking trains! I get that Fontaine itself is already, like, with the Aquabus, it's technically better. Well, not technically, but you can lay down train tracks anywhere in the fucking world! Excuse me. What is that place called? Where Dern, or where Dern's from? What is it called? What the fuck is it called? I forgot its name. Summer event. No. What the fuck is it called? My brain forgot. I forgot what it was called. I think it started with E? No. It sounds wrong. Whatever. It looks like it. It's where it with all the toy soldiers and all the animals and whatnot, but it's all snowed over. That's the only fucking difference. Otherwise, like, the castle and stuff looks the exact same. I'm gonna wonder something. Are they gonna have, like, are we gonna get, like, coal or something? Like, because that's never been an in-game item, so...
早年的制东如果要给它提炼出一种轮廓的话，那多半是以
Oh, right. Yeah, I completely forget La Signora exists. Like, she is so fucking old. Weapon that was never used.
一个比较邪恶、
Highly
威胁性很
threatening
强的这样一个
nation.
形象出场。
I'm sorry, but Child's animation, or like his transformation, Foul Legacy armor or whatever, is so much fucking cooler than, like, the rest of, like, everyone else's. I'm sorry. I really wish that, like, we got to see Skirk using a Foul Legacy transformation. Like, oh, that would have been... Like, imagine she actually uses it, like, in combat. I would have much preferred that, honestly, than what we got. Either you, like... Yeah, no, that would have been fucking awesome.
然而6年过去了，旅行者们慢慢意识到，至东这个国家它有着自己
A defiant is on its own path of defiance against fate. Okay, but why does it have a... Okay, then defiance against fate. Well, why don't you... Well, why do they have to attack every nation? Just for the Gnosis? But then, why... Okay.
对于命运的一个抗争路线，只是这个路线呢，在很多场合下，它体现出了一种
It's still so weird
的一个抗争路线，只是这个
It's so weird
路线呢，
to
在很多场
like see this type of stuff like talked about by a playable character or someone that is extremely lore relevant talking about a fucking world quest. Like, it really feels weird.
场合下，
Even though I know that she's very much connected to them.
它体现出了一种对其他势力的排他性，甚至可以说啊，在七国之中，至东是那个站在抗争命运最前线、最主动也最坚定的一个国家。
一个想要与天理和命运抗争的国度，它肯定要具备与之匹配的实力。
Yeah.
而至东确实是具备这样实力的，比如遍布提瓦特各国的愚人众组织，大家见过的诺德卡莱的巨大研究设
It
施。
really makes you think, how does such a nation that's pretty much frozen over have so many fucking people? How do they have the resources to build this? Like, how do they have the resources to build this shit and not just have the ability to make a Conrian robot that can just fly around and just fuck every nation? Like, every nation would not even be able to hold a candle to Snezhnaya. They would have to preemptively attack them to be able to not have that robot kill them all. That's how weak I think the entirety of the rest of the world is compared to Snezhnaya. Like, they could have already taken over the whole fucking world, and they haven't. I don't understand. How have they really not made a giant robot like in Sumeru with the giant ruin guards and whatnot and just said, fuck the world, I'm gonna blast it to death? Like, they could have made like 12 of those and just like... My recording randomly stopped. That's fun. I didn't even... I have no idea why it stopped. Yeah, well, yeah, they could easily just take over the world. I don't know why they don't. Like, I don't get why they really aren't holding Nodcry by, like, the throat. Or, like, they could just easily have taken over Nodcry by now. Why did they just take so long?
与科技实力。除了这些大家比较熟悉的内容，在至东本土还有着一个历史
The
悠久、
Fae
实力强大而又神秘的种族——妖精。
Flins, yeah. So what, are we gonna get more Fae characters in the future? Is that what this is?
我们在诺德卡莱见过的伙伴菲林斯、利奈亚，都属于这一古老的种族。
Yeah.
而他们的诞生最早
Wait, you're not gonna talk about starts with a C, Kalino? I think. Eh.
可以追溯到古国亥珀波瑞亚。这个国家的诞生与毁灭，其实都和天理、天使、降临者有着
Angels.
千丝万缕的联系。
That's okay. So multiple descenders are intertwined with Hyperborea. Is that what you're saying?
他们之间的故事，我们在以往的版本中是有过少量提及的，比如双月之子收藏的中北岛歌集，也就是被玩家们戏称为诺德卡。
Okay. Like, we've touched
他们之间的故事
and we touched on parts of this story in earlier versions. This story in another book that you have to go out and find and read. That's not what you should be... When you say the story, I expect you to talk about the Archon quests. I don't expect you to talk about random shit that, like obviously it's not random, but the fact that you really have to, like, go out and actively find and search for this stuff rather than it just being in the Archon quests. Like, you could have talked about how Albedo, Durin, and Scaramouche just talked to Hyperboreans through the moon stuff and, like, through the past and whatnot. and how the Torre even used that information to like manipulate them.
我们在以往的版本中是有过少
But
量
you
提及
chose
的，
a book.
比如双月之子收藏的中北岛歌集，也就是被玩家们
Yeah, like all this shit. Like, I'm not reading this shit.
戏称为诺德卡莱的日月浅市，而在至东，
What does
也
it
就是
say?
被玩家
People have, yeah, non Christ before sun and moon. Well, you really should, like, not hide this stuff.
戏
Jeez.
称为诺德卡莱的日月浅市，而在至东上面提到的这些势力，他们之间的过去和未来，还会被进一步的解释。
Okay.
大家都知道啊，从1.0版本开始，至东就在为某个神秘的目的派
The
遣1人众的
Gnosis
执行官前往各国去
No
收集
sai
神之心。那
Well, I mean, if that's what they were saying, you know how people always say it, gnosis, gnosi? Well, I mean, if they subtitled it as gnosi or gnosis, then it's the gnosises. It's not the gnosi, which honestly sounds wrong, but whatever.
截止目前呢
It's what they decided.
除了火神之心以外啊，
Aside
至
from-
东已经收集到了其余的6枚神之心。并且比较有意思的一个点啊，就是大家都知道，这其中有不少国家的神明各自出于一些理由
Don't care.
把自己的神之心啊，以一个很小的代价交给了至东的使节。那我们也看到社区里有很多
I mean, Nahida got the best deal.
旅行者非常积极的去讨论这些神明背后的考量啊。对于这些神明而言，就好像是让至东女皇拿到自己的神之心啊，是一个对提瓦特更有利的选择。那这背后的原因呢，也会在至东这一年向大家讲述清楚。
Fight.
原神有一个重要的
I kind of wish that like you had to like take over each area and reclaim Snezhnaya or something. Like it's a whole entire like war arc where everybody just like every nation attacks them all at once, surrounds them, and then we could either just charge in and defeat the main boss or just defeat them all one by one and slowly get to the final to the Cryo Archon. Also, it's also going to be the like once we are in Snezhnaya, we will have officially have the traveler have all 7 elements, which means they could probably access Omni as an element, which I don't even know how they would incorporate that.
设计原则，就是既需要有亲切感，又需要有奇幻感。比起1比1的还原某个现实的国家或者地区，
So
我
what, you
们
had
会
to go
选
to
择提炼来
Russia?
自不同背景，而且又彼此联系的各种文化要素，把它们以一种自洽的方式重新组合在一起。
大体上，至东是处于一个比较冷的、极寒的这种自然环境下的。
Are we bringing that mechanic back where if you get too cold you die, like on Dragon Spine?
它类似于现实生活当中的东欧，还有近北极圈地区。那这个地方的家园啊，其实是人们在冰雪的甲
What? But okay, sure. Okay. I mean, that's not at all what I had imagined, but okay. Like from what I remember seeing, at least the one thing that we got in the Temple of Space we got to look at, there was like an actual house. So I just assumed that they just all lived in like cabins.
夹缝当中，通过火焰和钢铁开辟出来的。因此，我们也化用了不少现实世界当中对应地区的这个文明特征。但是在此基础上呢，针对这些现实的人文痕迹，我们其实也做了很多提瓦特自己特有的奇幻的演绎啊。比如说到这个雪国至东啊，那旅行者可能就会想到一部经典的电影叫《雪
The fuck is that? Never heard of what is Snowpiercer? No idea.
国列车》啊，或者说一个游戏系列作品叫做《地铁》或者叫《Metro》。
No, I don't. Metro. I feel like I meant to know that, but I don't.
这就是一种冻土地区特有的工业和人文符号。那有没有一种可能啊，就是原神当中这个列车的车厢，它本身也可以是一种人文的呈现呢？比方说它可以拿来用作营地。
I'm sorry, but like that's awesome. I do like the train thing. It's kind of like what we with the aqua buses, except we might actually get to use them anywhere, or not anywhere, but like the aqua buses just kind of sucked because they were just in a straight line. You didn't really use them like at all. We got to use them once, and that was about it.
甚至拿来去搭一个剧院，对吧？有点像是在废弃工坊。
Yeah, and then you just use teleport waypoints, so similar to 1987, 19 yes 19. Why did I say 19? 798 Art District
里面搭设的那个北京的798，也可能像是《生化危机》当中啊，从博物馆改造来的这个警察局。那这种人文要素跟实际的用途之间的一种交错感，那在我们看来也会构成一种比较有意思的设计。
OK，
提到列车，在游戏中它通常被视为一种载具。
Yeah，
但在如此大规模的地图
，what are you gonna say? Star Rail next? Because if so, sure, cool.
图里面，载具应当遵循怎样的运行规则？车厢内部的空间又能承载哪些玩法？
I don't know. You want to have a murder mystery train type thing?
它的定位可不可以不只是移动工具？这些都是我们在设计阶段需要反复讨论和探索的问题。在枫丹，我们曾设计过巡轨船。
Yeah, but you barely used it.
运行在相对简单的轨道系统中。
Yeah, very simple routes. Yeah, it's literally what I talked about.
只要关注质心的稳定性和基础转向的移动即可。但像火车这样由多个车厢组成的复杂结构体，在几何结构和运动模拟上的处理就要复杂得多。
Really?
在联机环境下，状态同步和角色交互的设计难度也会显著提升。
Yeah.
同时，为了保证整体的真实感，不同轨道之间的调度策略、车辆与环境之间的交互。
We're getting more looks. Yeah, like I don't see snow huts or anything, so I'm pretty sure they would just have like regular little things like this. Or like you can even see a house right here. This is not a snow hut. Either that or they weren't talking about that in specific there. But like some maybe like one town or whatever might have that, but not every town.
及车厢内外之间的场景切换，都是需要系统性梳理和深入研究的课题。当
Yeah.
然，对于以上这些问题，大家永远都可以相信原神的技术团队。我们基本
I wouldn't trust them completely, but okay.
都已经解决的差不多了。
那不仅是风景啊，音乐其实也是大家非常关注的一部分。
Yes. I will say this, Nodcry had really good music. Especially Columbina. Like the Hisi Island, fucking amazing music. It's fucking good. There's nothing wrong with Hisi Island. Morning, night, the Silver Moon Hall with Columbina singing, fucking amazing. They fucking killed it. Like, that was genuinely good. Granted, a lot of the other areas were just kind of... They weren't bad, per se, but they could not compete at all with Columbina, like, in terms of music. So, I'm wondering what they're doing here.
至东的文化原型呢，就包含了有
Like, I really hope the Saritsa has a really good, like, intro track or whatever.
古典交响乐啊，其中还有承载了一些国家漫长抗争史的严肃音乐，以及还有一些广泛分布于斯拉夫各国的这个民乐。那在过去啊 ，Hoyo Mix 的小伙伴已经努力的给旅行者们重现过有巴洛克，还有古典主义的曲风。而在至东呢，旅行者或许还能够听到宏大深沉的现代主义，还有一些奇幻如魔法般的浪漫主义作品。
What will we be able to do? Funny.
至东的玩法嘛，这个话题肯定基哥有更多可以讲。
Okay.
我注意到了一件事，我们这些年对外的宣传
We
都
presented.
宣称自己是开放世界冒险游戏。
I wouldn't say that. like fully. It is an open world. I wouldn't call it an adventure.
但实际上，用“开放世界”这4个字拿来定义《原神》有点狭隘了。比如，什么叫开放世界？地图做得大，角色跑得快，内容堆得。
Why are we like these three seem like the most oddest choice to use? Like I know that they're free, but like it's just having a massive map, fast movement, and tons of content to explore make it an open. I mean, it depends. Like an open world is just better. It's like take Pokemon for example. It used to not be like I'm talking like on Nintendo 3DS like XY, Sun and Moon, even like Galar, Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield had some elements of it. They tried to make it an area that was big enough that you could just like do all that, but overall they still decided to go back with routes and all that. So like but then they like Legends Arceus, like that's where the real game changer was. Like that was good. I would say that was an open world. Compared to the other ones, they weren't. But like this, like if I were to say open world, HSR is not open world. It is closed off. You can only do so much. But open world like is an open world. There's not much else to say there.
多算开放吗？我觉得这些都太过片面。原神的本质乐趣，应该是不同维度的原子化玩法相互叠加、相互作用的结果。在地图里率性的探索和怪物战斗，了解 NPC 的故事，各种简单直观但是代入感很强的体验，都可以根据旅行者的需
Why do you show off the TCG? What?
要自由实现。我们觉得这才是原神玩法最有趣的。
What? Can be freely. I wouldn't say that. That's not what I would say. I mean, it's kind of gotten boring over the years. It has.
的地方，要我用一个
It's also just it's also very behind, out of date. In term like there are a lot of gameplay features and things that they could add instantly, and the game would become so much better.
词来定义原神的玩法概念的话，我觉得应该是交互吧。我们用尽可能精简的交互行为足够明确的交互协议，去呈现了很多丰富有趣的交互反馈。有个冷知识就是原神的元素反应以及
and various movement mechanics
及各种移动模组的这个设计，是早在我们的
were established long before our combat strategy and numerical planning. Well, what do you mean by numerical planning? What is like with like how much damage it would do or what?
策略对抗和数值规划之前就已经确立好的所以他们的初衷其实都是为了玩法交互去提供一些原子化的符合直觉的、容易理解的这个协议框架。就比如说，我手上有个火元素，我拿去碰一下水元素，是不是会冒烟拿去碰一下草元素，是不是会烧起来
So you're just talking about regular reactions like in real life. That's what you're talking about. I wouldn't call those elemental.
前面有座山，这个山看上去呢不算高，那是不是可以爬上去？爬上去之后呢，山上有个鸟窝鸟窝里能掏出几个禽蛋，那这些蛋是不是可以拿来
I don't think that's how the average player thinks anymore. Like that isn't exactly how I would ever play the game. Like that's just me, but like that just seems like a dumb way to play the game.
做菜？旅行者其实是在诸如此类的这种尝试和验证当中不断的去积累一种简单的快乐。
Like, sure, that could be a case if, say, you didn't add gotcha. if the game didn't have gotcha mechanics, I would tell you, yeah, that's pretty accurate. But because it does, that's not like at all how I think people would think about this game. At all. As much as you want to say, yeah, that it's, and you go around, you explore, can I do this or that? But very rarely do your ideas in Genshin work out. Either you can't figure it out and you just go to some random guy telling you how to play the game, or it's or something like to do with a puzzle, or you just don't do it. I think what like Musashi does with the Traveler Only series is what he's talking about, but very, 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 very few, if not basically under 0.00001% of the player base actually play the way he's saying.
然后呢，潜移默化的去理解这个游戏后续。
When picking up the knowledge needed for the game's deeper mechanics. What do you mean deeper mechanics? The deepest mechanic is just understanding how to like do the elemental reactions. Then you can pretty much work from there. Unless if you're timing out each elemental reaction, in which that's very hard and not worth its time at all.
去的玩法当中需要用到的知识。我们在前期其实花了有1年多的时间，努力的让这种根源性质的乐趣，尽可能广泛的分布到这个游戏的各个内容模块上，让它去贯穿有生态、人文、战斗和探索这几个领域。原神的世界在玩法层面的这种立体感和鲜活感，其实是建立在这些比较细腻，乃至于很琐碎的这种小乐趣上面的。
原子化玩法其实是一种不可再生资源，就是所谓的做一块少一块。那到了第6年，设计上可以突破的空间也就越来越小。对于我们概念设计
，Well, yeah, obviously, in our now that we're in our 6th year,
设计上
the room for design breakthroughs becomes increasingly limited. That's why you're trying to make whole new reactions, and that's where the problem lies. Is that like you can make a reaction, but if it's not for everyone, like bloom, hyper bloom, aggravate, and I forgot the other one, but pretty much it's pretty much the same reaction, but one for Dendro, one for Electro, and that like those three, and then burning, but burning already existed. It just didn't have such power. Cryo doesn't work. Geo doesn't work. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, but like those, like the Dendro reactions were very good. They increased a lot more and created a lot more teams. That's what's better.
可以突破的空间也就越来越小。对于我们概念设计能力
But I would say lunar, like the lunar reactions have just been for specific teams and characters. They haven't been for everyone. Only very few characters outside the people who just do straight lunar damage actually can utilize it. And that's not a good thing.
的要求也就越来越高了。举个例子，比如说冰元素，我们可以赋予它封存的概念。那如果它
preservation, under preservation. Talking about another game, are we?
封存了能量，它就可以看作是某种电池。
What?
那它封存了记忆。
What? What?
那就可以看作某种信息存储和在线的介质。
What? No? Like, that would be more Dendro? Wouldn't that be Dendro over anything? You don't... Like... What are you trying to say that like the like Irminsul is a cryo tree? Like what? That doesn't make any sense.
当然，策划的脑洞肯定比我说的还要夸张。那比如说万一冰元素封存了某种古代禁忌的力
Okay, I can understand that, but I wouldn't say it would store information in memory.
量或者概念啊，然后把它藏了起来。那旅行者可以借用某些手段呢，激活这些力量。
Finds a way to tap into those sealed forces to gain. What? That doesn't make any sense. How would you tap into something that's frozen over?
或者概念来获得一些收益。这个好像说的有点多了。用策划的专业术语来
Are
说
you seriously gonna tell me that we're gonna tap into some hidden, like, frozen over power to get cryo or something, or what?
就是预期大家能够通过相似的交互协议，让统一的交互行为呈现更丰富的结果。
在过去的旅途当中啊，大家遇到的大部分的敌人其实都是那种各自为战的，
Yeah.
他们之间呢也没有太多配合。那至东的愚人众既然在设定上啊，它是一个高度组织化、
I wouldn't say that. Well, I would say they're highly organized, but like in combat, they aren't.
军事化的一个势力，那么它应该在战斗当中呢，也应该是有分工配合、互相掩护的。
They
所
don't.
以在至东版本，我们也尝试让敌人的行为更加的有组织纪律。
Okay.
一方面呢
So
去
it's
增加
gonna-
一些生动性，另外
So they're gonna do wombo combos, like use elemental reactions against us. Is it gonna be actually hard like Inazuma used to be? Until you nerfed it, please.
一方面呢也能提供一些有趣的对抗策略。
利用元素反应或者利用单个元素的特性，是原神一直以来非常重要的玩法。
Okay, but is it
在
gonna
至东
be
的战斗
used
中，
against us?
大家也可以进一步的利用冰这个元素，
What do you mean new ways of using the?
能够触发元素反应，还能够破坏、碎裂，甚至改变战场地形，
Oh, so the physical meta, right?
影响敌人的行动路线。这意味着战斗不只发生在怪物和角色之间，而是发生在怪物、角色以及整个环境之间。
至东的很
Okay.
多玩法设计啊，会围绕着超越规则这个主题来做。那这个主题一方面指的是原神本身啊，比如说一些元素反应会在这个版本有全新的演绎啊，他们甚至在至东地区的探索和剧情当中都起到了重要的作用。另一方面呢，也是指我们团队正在探索和超越现在这个原神的可能性。
Okay.
就比如说旅行者他作为将领，
Is that a whole new outfit? Is that a whole new outfit? Oh, would you look at that? You can do it. You made an entirely brand new outfit. Congratulations. Now, will it be used in the main story? Actually, there are two. There are two outfits. Maybe even three. Like, come on. Just use it in the main story. Why did you even introduce a whole outfit with lore that gave us info about what the Heavenly Principles was if you weren't gonna use the outfit?
者啊，他可以在一个特殊的区域里体验到一套和原神原本截
Are you telling me that this outfit is only for a special area?
然不同的新玩法。那大家可以尽情的想象啊，只有降临者能够做到的事，可能会比当初大家见到在枫丹的那种水下体验还要更加意外吧。
That doesn't seem right, but okay. I thought it was.
我们上线已经是
Oh, right.
2020年的事情了。
I thought it was. I keep thinking 2019, but 2019. Yeah, no, it was 2020.
那时至今日啊，可能在很多玩家的眼里啊，原神已经是一个
Well,
已经是一个老
it is a long running title. It's much bigger than like. It pretty much spawned HSR. It spawned Zenless, and then Wuba followed after.
游戏了。那玩游戏一定要赶时髦嘛，要玩最新的嘛，这是人之常情。所以
Yeah.
我们在创作更多内容的同
I
时，
mean, the amount of times I've seen how I was reincarnated as a hilly trail. It's like, ugh, shut up. Like, you couldn't have chosen like actual good series to like imitate.
也会关注 如今的玩
So
家
just
喜欢
like
什么东
slop
西，就让
garbage.
大家感知到原神其实是在与时俱进的。
Oh, really? Oh,
早
really?
就让大家
Making
更多内容的
we're
同时，
making more content
也会关注
while also paying attention to what the players enjoy today. Well, then why don't you add some simple quality of life changes we've been asking for since the beginning of the game?
如今的玩家喜欢什么东西，就让大家感知到原神其实是在与时俱
Make
进的。
sure that the game continues to evolve alongside the modern gaming space. Yeah, stop lying. God. Like, really? Stop lying. Like, why do we need to lie? Like, that is a lie in a trillion. Like, actually. Like, there are so many easy quality of life changes that they know exist, but they refuse to do.
那早些年呢，我们通过一些简单的天赋设计，
Yeah, but like, let's be honest here. No one cares.
来反映了角色自
These
身
are
的身份、
useless.
职业和性格特点。到了诺德卡莱这一年，我们让角色们和世界有了更多的这种生态人文性质的互动。
Yeah, finally.
而接下来呢，在至东这个版本，我们就会去尝试，让一个角色的身份特色在游戏里得到更多的体现。就比如说如果说有一个角色他的职业是，比方说歌手，
Okay.
那在原神里面，我们不仅能够观赏到一个歌手的演出，体验到这个歌手他华丽的技能表现，甚至是不是可以通过某种可以游玩的方式在游戏内听到他
Okay.
哼唱各种动听的歌曲呢？
So what are you talking about, Combina here, or like what?
我们看到很多玩家非常在意原神的画面和渲染效果的提升，得益于这些年大家设备的升级换代。
Yeah.
未来我们会在新角色身上做重大的视觉升级，在保留原神原有的风格的前提下，让游戏内的角色呈现更加具有高级感。
Yeah.
届时大家会有非常明显的视觉感官优化。我们做内部测试的时候，有同学就惊呼：“哇，这把我干哪儿？这还是原神？”但是话又说回来，作为一
No.
款卡通渲染风格的游戏，许多光影效果和纹理细节都是我们美术同学手动调节甚至手动绘制完成的。
Okay.
如果盲目向写实风格的游戏作品看齐，贸然的堆细节加精度，会导致游戏画面显得杂乱，失去视觉焦点，也不够温暖和梦幻，破坏沉浸感。而且贸然大幅升级，往往意味着放弃低端乃至中端配置的玩家，其实是不合理的。毕竟我们不能为了一厢情愿的技术追求，不顾大多数玩家的游戏体验。
原神
What? Okay.
毕竟我们不能为了一厢情愿的技术追求，不顾大多数。
Especially if it comes. I wouldn't say that. Like, quality is always going to be something that's good. You can get as much as you want out of quantity, but at the end of the day, I think quality is so much better. If you can make a way to work in more quality, I would do that over quantity.
玩家的游戏体验。
原神以往的演出和玩法，它大抵
Yeah, cinematic presentation and gameplay were. Yeah.
上都是分开的，那大家只能体验到演出有进步。
Yes. Yes, I have seen this, and I am glad that you are starting to finally understand expressions. Like, Lidea's quest, fully. I could fully see it.
就很难去玩到这个生动的玩法，所以这几年我们一直致力于让游玩和演出的部分
That's
融合到一块儿。
that's not the one I would have chose right there. I would have chosen like Rerir or Dottore or someone else. Like that is just not the fight I would have chose.
就比如说5.3版本的这个古斯托特的 BOSS 战，
What? No, I would say this against Rerir, not this.
还有月之4版本的这个博
Yeah,
士的剧情战，
this.
对吧？还有月之5版本的这个法尔加的地脉战等等等等。
The ley line battle with Varka, that was like that wasn't even a fight, in my opinion.
那在至东的这一年啊，我们会让更多的游戏内容尽可能的就具备上述这几场战斗这种演出般的效果。
You want to say that was it? Like that was kind of bad, in my opinion.
不仅如此啊，我们还会统一一部分 NPC 和怪物的行为。举例来讲，比如说有些他巡逻的卫兵会加入一些突。
Might dynamically join unexpected battles. Yeah. WoW's had this since 1.0, buddy.
突发的战斗，那有一些被击败的敌人呢，他也有可能解锁隐藏的剧情。
Really? Because I've never seen that.
旅行者还会获得一种妙妙工具
Marvel's Gadget.
不同于过去这种比较单一的小。
What is all this text? What is this team? Okay, so you have. What is this team? Okay, so. Official Cleaveress. Okay, so this is meant to be a. It's meant to be a overloaded team, or yeah, that sounds right. But this team is just wild. That's not the team I would have chose.
道具功能啊，这个工具会赋予旅行者去改造我们环境的能力，甚至可以跟。
So what is it gonna be? The cold mechanic? Actually, there is a bar above it, but I don't know if that's what. Yeah, there's a heat circle. So are we getting the cold mechanic back? Are we finally gonna have that?
旅行者去改造我们环境的能力，甚至可以跟其他的旅行者去通过某些方式共享这种改造的效果。
Okay.
就让大家能够按照自己的想法去体验。和优化原神的世界。
What? Well, Conria.
原神的未来啊，不对，这期我是不是看过？
Yes.
去年我是不是也在这个问题上想了一下，感觉有点诡异。说回正题啊，就是很多人会觉得，就是我玩原神玩到今年，我就是为了看到至东完结啊。
No.
但是。
No, we Conria.
这个词其实
Then we have to fight Dainsleif for Lumine. That's at least what I understand. Conclusion itself carries a sense of melancholy.
其实很伤感，它意味着就是读者对于作者迄今为止的作品的认可，但是呢，它同时又封印了这个作品。未来一切的可能性。我们都知道伟大的故事女巫，对吧？野猪公主的作者西木兰卡的缔造。
Semulanka, that's what Durin was from. I just could not remember it earlier.
小杜林的母亲魔女 M， 安德斯多特女士，她曾经在剧情里说过一句话，叫做每个故事最大的遗憾，便是要有一个结局。
But in my opinion, a story that doesn't end will just get dreadfully like it'll just degrade itself over time. There's no true good everlasting story.
那对于我或者说对于我们团队啊以及很多旅行者而言，我觉得原神它已经不是一个故事了，就原神它其实是生活的一部分。那至少我是没有办法想象说这部分生活从我的世界当中。
Okay, so what are you gonna keep the servers up or like make it so that you can play the game infinitely even whenever the game's live service goes down? Is that what you're gonna do? Because that better be the case.
被剥离开所以大家可以放心啊，就我们既不会去强行的给这个故事画上
good, but you also need to make it like good enough for it to not end like that.
一个莫名其妙的句号，也不会说为了一个很功利的理由啊，强行给他一个。
Okay, nor purely for commercial reasons. Well, then you would just have to make a sequel to the game, or like have to like do something. I don't know. Connect it to HSR or something. Do something like that.
给这个篇章去续命。我们觉得旅途是有它的意义的。那过去是，现在是，未来也是。 那作为一个产品呢，其实进化同样也是永恒的课题。为
Yeah.
了进化，这几年其实我们一直在积极的去和来自世界各地的游戏
No offense, but whenever Genshin talks about evolution or like the people from it, I just don't believe them. Like, sure, in some ways it does evolve, but in other ways it's remained stagnant. Very stagnant.
设计一线的很多前辈们去交流我们就发现所有的经典的游戏作品啊，大家其实都有类似的困难。那遇到困难的时候呢，解决的方案也都是事必躬亲。比如说《最终幻想七》重置版，那它的故事内容非常的丰富，所以团队花了非常大的力气，让每一部作品入坑的玩家都可以很快速的理解剧情，能够上手。
That just becomes a story for no one。
死亡搁浅2，它的地图比较错综复杂，那其实是小岛秀夫先生他自己一遍一遍的跑自己的游戏地图，然后呢，让团队逐个的去把这些地图调整至车辆可行，最终实现了一个玩家用载具的时候，在任何一个地形都可以畅通无阻的行驶的这样一种自然的体验。那有的前辈呢，他为了多平台性能的考量，放弃了使用内存负担非常大的这种商用的扫描素材，就带着自己的团队纯手工去调整很多写实风格的雪山和溪流。那诸如此类的一些例子啊，就是当我们知道在产品进化的这个道路上，我们跟世界顶尖团队的这个路径其实比较类似的时候，就突然变得。
I mean, a game that makes $1 billion, if it isn't doing that, I don't know what you're doing.
比较有信心了。
而从至东开始，原神的进化要开始加速了。这种加速会在未来某些节点
yeah, it's the climax at least
兑现，并且如原神提瓦特篇上线时一样，我们为这个行业带来了一些重要的想法参考和思路改变。我们有能力在2020年给这个世界带来惊喜。那么在5年后、10年后、20年后，我们仍然有这个能力做到。
I doubt that.
我们始终相信，一个真正打动人的作品，从来不是靠一时的风潮。原神能走到今天，靠的是一群人日复一日的坚持与创新，和千万旅行者们一路走来的陪伴。IP 之所以能成为 IP， 靠的是高品质的内容设计与长时间的持续产出。在至东，我们将继续秉承这样的理念，把更多激动人心的想象，变成玩家可见、可玩、可感的全新体验。
Not out. No? Okay. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. I largely agree and disagree with a lot of this, but I don't mind the spoilers and I'm just gonna say second looks at Snezhnaya. I do think it's gonna be a lot. I think if like they incorporate the heat mechanic around the map, it could make exploration actually somewhat more interesting. But I don't know how willing they're going to make it. Like, how harsh are they gonna make it? Is pyro gonna be a very needed element for exploration? Who knows? And that's kind of where I'm like, are people from Snezhnaya just gonna be able to ignore the cold? What? Then we have new traveler outfits. Who knows? I do think they are taking some steps in the right direction, but they also just need to take steps they haven't taken since 1.0 and finally implement them. It's a bit ridiculous that it's almost at Snezhnaya and that we don't have some of these quality of life improvements. Yeah, no, there's... I feel like I've already... I do like what I saw, and bringing, like, a lot of us pretty much wanted stuff like Dragon Spine back. Like, Dragonspine being like the only area in the game with the cold mechanic actually made it somewhat harder to explore, but nowadays I wouldn't even have trouble. Yeah. That's about it. Yeah, that's it. Already given my thoughts and whatnot. All right. We'll if they might tease Snezhnaya in this upcoming special program. We'll see though. Oh wait, 8, 12, 5, 6, 7. So August 12th is when Snezhnaya will become playable. Okay. So they just confirmed that Snezhnaya is coming in 4 months. Okay. Like they did with Nodcry. Okay, so let's see. Uh let's see if I can get an answer. 110. 110. 110. 110. Okay, 110 divided by 42. 2 and okay, so there are only 2 more patches. Okay. So 6.7, so that rumor about 6.7 being the end is correct. Or not, yeah. Okay, so only 2.5 pretty much patches until Snezhnaya. Okay. Alright. Well, we'll probably get more teasers, kind of like they did with Nodcry. But this time they'll come faster because we're already pretty much at 6.6. And then, so wait, are we getting. Okay, so is 6.7 gonna have Sandrone? So 6.7 will have Sandrone. That's my guess. Uh, so Sandrone will be in 6.7, and that's pretty much the summer patch. That's an odd choice, honestly. Hmm. So she's gonna be in this. Okay. Huh. All right. I guess that's it. All right. I'm. I guess I'm looking forward to 6.7 then.